Right. That should all be sorted now. Chat is all done. Michael's actually muted, but that is okay. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, da, da, da. Now, is it still here? So if I did now test 3, what would happen? Where would it show? Does it show in the middle, or does it show at the top again? Slightly in the bottom, which means at some point this is going to cut off. So I should... Maybe I put me here. And leave like that for now. Stick you there, and the chat can... Let me transform. 0. Perfect. And you can just go there. I still need to figure out how the chat works, but that can come another time. But now, I think it is time for some viewer comments. Let's get this all wrapped up. Where are we? Display. Google. Nope. Google. There we go. Alright, so where is my YouTube studio? Comments, content, comments, and let me add the... There we go. Perfect. All done. But the question is... Let's do this. Viewer comment time. Oh, it actually has the black screen here, which is not really what I want. You know what? I'm going to keep it here regardless. Bourne, what up? How's it going? All good your end? How's work going? And let's move you. There we go. Perfect. How's your weekend been? Or how was it, should I say? Not been. Busy one for me. I read so much manga. And I was going to watch a load of anime. I was going to, probably tonight actually, end up not watching any anime at all, other than Spy Family. But I'm going to be watching that the football one that you recommended. So I'm looking forward to that. I seem to get the same comments over and over again on this digital manga one, which is basically via iPad. And I think I should, because that seems to be the way that everyone is enjoying it. And the mobile phone, I think, is just too small. Coworker got fired? Oh, that's not good. Were they slacking off, or are they cutting down on staff members? Are you in jeopardy? That's what I want to know. Are you in trouble? Should we be worried? Are you okay? Are you comfortable where you are working? Or are you on the edge, scared? Work is work, I think. I'm not particularly enjoying it. Loads of people are leaving because we've had new management. So no one's really particularly happy, which means more work for us, similar to you. I think from reading most of the comments is that I need to Purchase a tablet. For sure, phone is not the one. Reply. So underrated. Now, I don't really know what this comment means. If the video is underrated, if I'm underrated, or Forbidden Planet in general is underrated. So I don't really know how to reply to this one. Maybe just, so underrated. It's so cryptic. It could literally mean anything. I don't get it. I'll come back to that one. Hey dude, awesome video, great concept. How come you didn't come to Cardiff? That's because Cardiff, I believe... Glad you enjoyed. I believe Cardiff is a Forbidden Planet International. International. Our stores. Cardiff, yes. The store in Cardiff, is it 2Fs? Is a Forbidden Planet let me not put it all in caps. International. I think they're under the same branch. Similar store run by same people, but effectively a different company. They also have different discounts in store. But for sure, next time I'm in the area, I'll pop in. Oh, she had an attitude problem? That's okay. I think as long as that's kind of the situation, then you can feel kind of safe. So you're safe until they retire. That's good. I'm glad. There's nothing worse than working for a company and they just start popping people off for no reason. We recently had it in our company, maybe 3 years ago, a year before COVID. They just started firing loads of people. A lot of the big directors, a couple of staff members who worked on my team. And it was quite a scary time. A lot of people were unsure if they were safe in their job, if they were just going to be sacked, just get called in one day and say, yeah, you got to leave. Because they weren't even offered to work their notice. So in the UK, they say to you, oh, we don't want you to work for the company anymore. You've got X amount of days, weeks or months to work for the company and then you have to leave. They were just letting people leave. They were saying, yeah, you don't have to come back no more. And still paying those people. I think they just wanted to stop paying people who are paid a lot of money in wages, just to try in the long term save money, which kind of had a knock-on effect to us because obviously we had to pick up all of their work. Well, that wasn't good. Yeah, I think we've spoken about it before. Just you and I seem to be in a similar situation where we don't particularly like where we work. Hopefully, as long as you're getting paid enough money that warrants you staying there. Like me, I get paid enough money where I can stay where I am and not really worry too much about what I'm earning and how they're treating me. I can still pay, to keep a roof over my head, food in my belly, and that's the main thing, really. Next. What is your thought on Hunter x Hunter? I hardly hear you talk about it. You hardly hear me talk about it because I never talk about it, because I've never read or watched Hunter x Hunter. Never read or watched Hunter Hunter. Would you... Do you think it's any good, and would you recommend it? Reply. The place you're at fires people a lot. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's all. That can't all be just for attitude though, right? Must be difficult just seeing people constantly leave though. Do you have a lot of people that leave on their own accord as well? Next comment is on the recent manga haul that I posted up. Good Chakadoro, Doro Hey Doro. I think this is probably one of the most difficult manga to come by. And I think, like he says here, the US have just recently had an influx of Doro Hey Doro. I know Boogie Snacks and a couple of other people online had recently completed their series after like a few months of trying to collect it. And we are, like he says, we are so behind in the UK. We're maybe a month, 2 months before we get it. So if you get it in January, we get it in the March. A lot of things are coming out way before we get it. I think I just assumed a lot of the manga was printed over here as well, but I don't think it is. I think it's all produced in America and then just shipped over here as and when. I've also seen a few people pick up most of Doro Hey Doro recently in America. Sadly, still low stock over here, but like you say, we should get a delivery from you guys soon. Touch wood. America. No notice given beforehand. Wow, is that just like the normal in America? In the UK, you have to, when you give in your notice, you have to work your notice period, whether it be. So I'm contracted to work for another 3 months after I say to them I want to leave. If it depends on your position, but someone like me who's just like data entry, I think they would just let me go and just not pay me if I wanted to leave instantly. They just wouldn't pay me. But some of the sales people, the people who bring in a lot of the clients that we have, and are valuable obviously to our company, because the more clients we have, the more money we make. I think there's something in place that if they were to just leave, we can like pursue them. Hunter Hunter is your favorite shonen manga? Oh, shonen anime, sorry. I think what puts me off Hunter Hunter is that it goes on hiatus all the time, and I just presumed it was because it wasn't very good. But apparently the mangaka isn't very well a lot of the time, either back pain or, arm pain, and they're off long term. I think it's been quite a while since they last made a chapter. And then once I found that out, what put me off reading it was, well, actually finding copies of the manga itself, because I know it's quite old and a lot of the earlier volumes are quite rare and difficult to come by. Oh, so you are completely up to date then with Doro Hey Doro? Yeah, like I'm sure you know, I picked up the first volume, and I'm probably going to be picking up some more soon. I've noticed online there are a few of the later issues, but not almost none of the early issues. But hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be able to get a big restock. Next, Born, it's you. You are here. Employees have most of the power. Wow, that's really good. I mean, as long as you find somewhere and you can like hop to the next job almost straight away, that's great. Sometimes it's difficult. Like if I wanted to find a new job, then the new place that I want to move to, if I say to them, "Oh yeah, I've got 3 months," they could just say, "Yeah, we can't employ you because we need someone to work immediately or in the next month. We can't wait 3 months." So they'll just fill the position sometimes. As someone who drops a lot of stuff because they check out a bunch, glad to hear you don't force yourself to read things that you don't particularly enjoy. Way too many people have a completionist mindset regardless of whether they enjoy it. To be honest, I am of that mindset a lot of the time. If I start collecting something, I just kind of want to finish it to the end. I think you kind of got to have that different mindset with manga because it can go on literally for years. Unlike a video game where you can, grind it for like, if you're playing something like Elden Ring, you could grind that for 100, 200 hours and probably 100% complete, get all the trophies if you're that kind of way inclined. But yeah, when it comes to manga, I think you need to just stop. Especially, I can understand if you're reading a series that's like One Piece, for example. You get into it, you get to like Impel Down, and then it comes to the time skip, and you're really enjoying it. Suddenly, you read Fishman Island for 5 volumes, and then you go into Punk Hazard, and you start to think, "Oh, I'm really not enjoying this anymore." So I can understand it's quite difficult. Some people just continue reading just because they have to. And then you give a bunch of recent ones that you stopped reading. I think Marshall, a lot of people say the same thing. They enjoyed the comedy aspect, but the action they weren't a big fan of. Wop, 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 wop. And yeah, I think when you read it on a weekly basis, if you're not enjoying the action or the comedy or whatever it is of the series, it really does grind, especially at the moment. Like you said with Marshall, the reason why you dropped it is because of the back and forth fighting. It was pretty constant, and they weren't over in just a chapter or two. It was like, I think around 15, maybe not 15, like 10 to 12 chapters. And even now it's got to the point where he's just doing training, and it's been like that for maybe 3-4 weeks now. So it's kind of building up again. So I can understand why you would drop it. And the same with Yozakura Family. You lost interest when they started constant talk about the bloodline. Yeah, the bloodline thing was kind of, I didn't really care for it when they introduced it. I just kind of wanted to see them go back to like the funny everyday life of a mafia boss sort of thing. That was kind of funny. I'm still reading it though. And the blossoming stuff, yeah, is a bit too confusing. Even now, they're still going on about it. I think it might be coming to some sort of conclusion, hopefully soon, because the more it drags on, then it's going to start going to a steep decline story-wise. Agreed. Though I am a completionist myself in some aspects. Manga is just too long to invest in when you are not enjoying. Shame about Marshall, because I love it. But understandable to be when reading on a week by week basis. And Shikamaru was a no-go from page 10, chapter 1. Reply. Did I like? Thumbs up and heart. Yeah, I think that's the thing about manga. Everyone likes certain aspects, some people don't. I honestly agree with the Marshall comment. Reading it on a week by week basis is very difficult. Even like One Piece is probably my favorite manga of all time, just because it's always made me laugh. But probably the last few years, I rarely get a laugh out of the series. Even when rereading, I've recently started to rewatch it. I just kind of have it on in the background, rewatching the anime, and I just laugh every so often at just the random jokes that they make and facial expressions and just their little, I don't know, just their characteristics. Zoro not being able to find things and stuff. I feel like it's all been lost the last few years, probably since the time skip. I would say it's become very like battle orientated and story driven, which I'm fully for. I completely love it. But yeah, when you read it on a week by week basis, it does drag out quite a lot, especially like I said, if you're not enjoying the back to back battles. All the medium ones you just drop. Yeah, I completely understand. I think nowadays, as we've mentioned, with a lot of the series coming to conclusions quite quickly within like maybe 10 to 20 volumes, maybe then you'd be able to actually maybe purchase them and agree and get involved. I mean, if Marshall ends in like the next few chapters, maybe like half a year or something, so maybe 11 to 13 volumes, I would say purchase it because I think it will be a solid series. If it goes on for like 20, maybe 30, no, definitely not. A bit too much. Yeah, post time skip. I think it had a long. I had a lot. It had such a high with the war arc with Luffy finding Ace, trying to get to Impel Down, and then going to the military base, and then the flashback with Ace and Sabo and everything. And then you got to the time skip, and you're just expecting so much, and you just, I don't know, every chapter just went downhill with the Fishman Island, and people weren't particularly interested in Punk Hazard. Punk Hazard got interesting towards the end, and then Dressrosa was so long, so long. I'm looking now. The halfway point, which is volume 60, which is where the time skip happens. It was 16 volumes from Fishman Island to the end of Punk Hazard. That's a lot of volumes. That's a lot of story. And the thing is, it's only going to get worse because the more islands that they visit, the more characters they need to interact with. It'll be interesting to see where it goes after 1-0. Whoop. Beck. Great video. Thanks for sharing. Like and heart. Thanks. Glad you enjoyed. Smiley face. Wish I could read that out, but not licensed in my country. Oh, what country are you from? You can read a few, but no. Oh, you can only read one chapter? That sucks. I don't really know what you would recommend to someone who has licensing issues in their country. I don't really want to say, yeah, just go and read it online illegally, but sometimes that is the only option. I guess it makes it more difficult as well. If you want to, like with Shonen Jump and Viz website, you could just view whatever. You could even pay for Bookwalker, that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, that sucks. Maybe one day the licensing issue will be sorted and you can read all the manga you want. Josh. Yeah, I haven't read Black Clover yet. I don't even know if Black Clover is good. I heard from the beginning when it first came out that it was very, very good. And then the anime come out and everyone hated Asta's voice. I was one of them. Though I did get past, I think episode maybe 5 or 6, his voice kind of calmed down a little bit. And it became quite interesting. Ba, 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 da, ba. I'll get round to it one day for sure. Because I did enjoy what I watched from the anime. You haven't read in months. Will you continue reading at some point? Done and dusted. All comments replied to. And I need to keep on top of my comments more often because I can't do this once a week. I feel like I'm not retaining interest. What killed it for you was Oda checking in on so many characters in the storyline. Yeah, there was a point after, I think even after Dressrosa. I know you probably stopped reading at that point, maybe, but yeah, it goes back to so many characters, even all the way that started investing in VV, and even went back to that kind of era. You go back into Fishman Island and all the princess and the king, and yeah, there's so many other characters that are involved. Sabo and Dragon are constantly popping in and out. And to be fair, that's been Oda's thing from almost the beginning. Ace's journey started from so early on. Volume, I think 18, he got introduced, and then he got shafted for a long time. He got shelved, and then Blackbeard got introduced, and then you saw Blackbeard again after Skypiea, and then you saw the whole battle with them two. And even when you buy the physical manga itself, he has the the side stories that he tells at the beginning of each chapter, just with a picture, like Enru, who's like chilling on the moon at the moment, just waiting to come down. Then there was the CP9 thing after Water 7. There was that, and they all got involved, and now they're coming back into the story. It's difficult. I think I read somewhere that there's like 1,000 something named characters. Is it 1,000 or 150? 150 sounds... 1,000 sounds too much. Where did I find this information? How many named characters? Literally, the first thing that I type in is how many named characters there are in One Piece. I feel like I may have watched a video and someone had confirmed the number of named characters. I feel like it was in their thousands, but I don't think so. Maybe it was over 100 something. Black Clover ends next arc, so that will probably finish on like nearly close to 40 volumes then. 3-month hiatus. Wow. Is that literally just so we can organize the last arc then? That's crazy. Because I think even Akira Toriyama, he only had, I think, a month or less than a month between going to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Well, I think it's called Dragon Ball Z just in outside of Japan. In Japan, I think it's still just called Dragon Ball. But I know Oda as well, when he had the time skip, he was off for, I think, a month. They must be doing very well then if they've given him a whole month. Because that's ridiculous. Josh! How's it going? You still at work again? It'll be interesting to see where Black Clover sits after it finishes, if it will still be talked about. Because I know people still, I guess maybe because Boruto is still around, but people still watch and reread Naruto all the time. You're in the clear today? Good boy. So you won't be getting in trouble then anytime soon. Yeah, I think I might try and catch up as much as I can then. I have this, it's happened a couple of times. I have this uncanny, I wouldn't call it an ability, it's just a coincidence thing. I started reading Full Metal Alchemist, I think back in 2007 or 2008. And by the time I started from volume 1, and by the time I got up to date, I had reached to the point where the last chapter was being released the following month. And then I had the same thing with Naruto. I started at chapter 1 and I caught all the way up to date, and then the following week was the time skip. Though I don't know if I'll be able to 3 months though, 3 months hiatus, that's so long. I don't know if I could catch up. That's 100 volumes of 100 chapters a month. How long has he been on hiatus so far? How long has it not been in the magazine? Let's see. Shonen Jump rankings. Does it even say Black Clover? Has it only just started? Because I was looking at Black Clover hasn't been in for the last 2 weeks. He took a break. All right, yeah. So I've just checked online, and he's been away for the past couple of weeks. So he's got 3 months from now. I think I could catch up with Black Clover. Although ideally, I feel like if I binge it all now on the Viz website or the Shonen Jump app, I reckon I probably won't purchase the physical manga. Maybe one day. Or maybe I'll just start. Right. So, now that that is done, I think I'm going to go and open up some manga that has come in. Let's click you. Clap, clap. Perfect. A box set of the physical release has to be coming. It is so much cheaper. Everyone says that it's cheaper to get the box sets, and I know it is, but they get snatched up so quick. I just can't keep on top of it. When Claymore recently got a release, instantly gone. I can't find it. The One Piece ones keep coming in and out of stock every like few months. Every 6 months, you'll get an influx of one particular box, and it just gets sold out straight away. I don't know if you look at any of the prices on eBay, but like 4 digits. Stupid. Stupid. Right. I have 4 or 5 packages of manga that I've recently purchased. Some of it is recommended. Some of it is all pre-order stuff. And the first one, Solomon. This is the last volume that I needed for the recommendation video that I had. I did a little stream where I took a bunch of recommendations and I did like a marble race, like a random number generator, and this was one of the winners. This is actually a lot thicker than I thought it was. Solomon. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. And what else do I have in here? Golden Kamui. This is the last volume. I thought I had all the volumes, but clearly not. This is the last volume that I needed. So I'm going to be starting this on the 1st of June. May, June. Yes. And I think volume 26 has only just come out in America. So we will probably not get 26 for probably August. I'll probably get it. I make a good point. Yeah, boxes are hard, man. Boxes are hard to keep on top of. And the thing is, there's not like a really long... Well, I don't notice a lot of... we're not told in advance. We're told like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they start dropping. And I don't have that kind of money where I can just like fork out, you know, £100, $100 on a whole box set, you know? I need like a couple of months notice. Next. This is a single volume, it feels like. And it is... Frerin. This is volume 3. Frerin Beyond Journey's End. I haven't started reading this yet. But now that I have the 3rd volume, I'll probably start reading it. I haven't read a fantasy series in a very, very long time. A pure one anyway. That isn't isekai. Or like battle action. Feelings portrayed in that manga were immensely relatable. Yeah? Okay. Well, hopefully... What kind of emotions would you say you felt? Especially not... Because I don't know anything about it. With manga that I don't know, I don't like to invest too much time in research. I just kind of like to purchase it and consume it completely blind without knowing anything. So I don't even, half the time, I don't even read the blurb at the back. Stayed up to 2 a.m. reading the 1st volume? Wow. That good then, yeah? Based on this cover? Yeah, it's good, man. It does look good. Look interesting. Let me see if I can show you some art. Maybe not that one. I will show some art because this is volume 3, so there might be a lot of spoilers. But yeah, with Solomon, isn't Asano like renowned for making people cry a lot? Well, Born, I'm glad that you enjoyed Frerin, and I might actually drop what I was going to read tonight in favour for this. And this is My Dress Up Darling Volume 5. I literally picked this up just because I knew that the manga was going to be a hit. I looked at the main character. I looked at the trailer for the anime back in December, I think it was, or January, whenever it dropped. And I thought to myself, she's going to be best girl of the season. So that's the only reason why I picked this up. And then when I did, I got them all for relatively cheap. And in the UK, volumes 1, 2, and 3 got sold out almost instantly by the first episode. So I picked this up. It's actually quite interesting. It's a little bit horny at times, but it does it in a wholesome way. But it's cellophane wrapped, so you can imagine what the contents includes. Like, I'm sure you've seen all the memes and clips from the anime. I don't need to tell you what's inside. And this is my last package. What's this one? This is Witch Hat Atelier, which is... I actually purchased this along with Solomon and Golden Kamuy. This is volume 3. Read volume 1 and 2. And honestly, I don't think I would enjoy this as much as I have. The art is stellar. It's so smooth. And one thing I really like about Kodansha books is that every book has a different texture. They feel so nice. When I've read a lot of Viz books recently. A lot of Shonen Jump stuff. I've recently just read a load of Dragon Ball Super, Promised Neverland, and all of their books are just smooth and boring. These are like textured. Sometimes they're suede. Sometimes there's like embossed logos and texts and characters that look like they have stickers on it. What's this? Oh, that's Viz as well. Oh, these are Viz. What's this one? Square Enix. But yeah, they're crazy. Kodansha books are so nice. I love them. Things have been stuck in life as if reaching a plateau and not happy where you are. Well, it looks like I should get the tissues ready then with Solomon. But that is everything that I've purchased this week. Anyway, that's coming. So that's 5 volumes. Unfortunately, that does add towards my manga percentage. And this week, or last week should I say, I read volumes 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15 of the Promised Neverland. This is you mentioned Born about the stickers. These are the stickers that that the Forbidden Planet have for 2 for 3 for 2, sorry. They are easy peel, so they come off quite easily, and they don't tend to leave a mark as long as you're slow with them. I've seen people in store after they purchase them just rip them off. They damage the cover and they leave all of the like marks and stuff. If you peel it off slowly, it takes everything off and it's all nice and smooth. There's no stickiness. Perfect. I really wasn't expecting to enjoy the rest of Promised Neverland after watching season 2 of the anime, but it has blown away my expectations. After the Goldie Pond part, which is where I was previously, I thought it was just going to go downhill, but I've still really enjoyed it. I think it's starting to slow down now. I'm just about to finish volume 16 today, and it's got a lot of exposition. So there's a lot of talking, a lot of like, kind of like finishing off and rounding off what's been said in the past, and it's coming to the conclusion now. So just got to tie up all the loose ends. So there's a lot of talking, a lot of info dumping, it feels like. And maybe because it feels like that because there's far less action. But this is really good so far. I'm still enjoying it. And I've still got 4 volumes left to go. Oh, you've read Witch Hat as well? Yeah, I went in with no expectations. And luckily, Born had read it before and he didn't spoil anything about the magic and how it's used. I feel like it's such a small thing, the way that they cast their magic. But I feel like if you know that going in, then not that it spoils it, but it just gave you that little bit more It had a magical feeling when I was reading it and finding that out very slowly. And now I'm just intrigued with every new spell that they cast and how they're going to cast it. Even like casting it, like when they fly or float, casting the spells like under their feet on their shoes. It's crazy. I never even thought about it. Also with Kodansha as well, they do a lot of color pages as well. Let me see. They've got a color page on this. My Dress Up Darling is probably the worst one to actually show because they have I wouldn't call it nude. What? Yeah, she normally wears a little bit risque cosplay outfits. But that wasn't Kodansha. That was Square Enix. But yeah, Kodansha sometimes have color pages, I'm sure. What have I got that's got color in it? Or maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's something else that has color. No, Drifting Dragons. Drifting Dragons has color pages. I wish there was more color pages in our manga. Vertical is like a premium branch of Kodansha, is it? What do I have this Vertical? Flowers of Evil. To be fair, I don't think that's very premium. What else did I read this week? Last week I also read volumes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 of Dragon Ball Super. I was reading, since 1st of May, I started reading both The Promised Neverland and Dragon Ball. I'd read both of them every single day. So on the 1st, I read volume 1. On the 2nd, I'd read volume 2. So every day I've been able to keep up to date. And I was lagging with Dragon Ball for so long. I think I was on day 11 for Promised Neverland and I was on volume 5 for Dragon Ball Super. I wasn't interested. I wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't great. I thought it was very boring compared to what I'd read previously with Dragon Ball. But then the Tournament of Power was really interesting, and oh my, volume 15 concludes the story with the main villain, Moro. He is a beast, and I feel like they've never faced an enemy quite like him with his abilities, and it really captured the Dragon Ball spirit of what it, kind of like how Dragon Ball was in the Frieza saga and somewhat the Cell saga, except from it just revolved around one villain and didn't have a lot of others. It was so good. It was so good. I think it goes on for quite some time as well. It started, so I think at the end of volume 11. So these 4.5 volumes consist of the whole Moro arc. And I think, actually no, even before then, was it volume 9? Volume 9. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 volumes. That's 6.5 volumes. Whilst the previous volumes, I think you had up to volume 8.5, 9. You had the introduction of Beerus. You had the Future Trunks saga. You had a little tournament. You had the Tournament of Power. Was that 4? I think they skipped over the Frieza part, but they had 4 arcs that were very mediocre. So they just pummeled all these volumes with one big story, and it was crazy. I enjoyed every single second. And I ended up just stopped reading Promised Neverland at one point, and I was just reading Dragon Ball. I loved every second, and I think I'm looking forward to what happens next. I don't know, Josh, I don't know if you read it on the Viz Media app. I don't know if you're up to date. if you could tell me if the next arc is good, but I'm interested. One thing that makes me laugh is that the villains are always named after food a lot of the time. The new villains that have just been introduced, gas, oil, and electric, gas, obviously, and oil. And I can't remember the girl's name. And the next arc is long as well. Good. I feel like if you've got a longer arc, you can just kind of express a lot more with the characters, explore a lot more with the characters. But yeah, I'm glad that in this arc specifically, Vegeta had a nice little moment, although it didn't last very long, where he got a massive power up. And what I like about the villain as well, he's completely different to any other villain that we've seen in Dragon Ball. All the other villains were just powerhouses, you know, just escalating their power level. This one started off not like that, which I really liked. But no, it was really good. And I really felt like Goku and Vegeta were just like, they were just so weak. They had no power. They just physically couldn't do anything against their foe. And I feel like every volume before, I just knew they were going to win. At one point, I thought they were all just going to lose. They were all going to die. And that was it. So other than that, I also read last week Pink. This was one of the winners of the marble race that I did. This was extremely good. I didn't know what I was expecting to go into it. I felt so close to a lot of the characters and so relatable with not knowing really what they want to do in life. Peer pressure. And the only thing that was weird was the crocodile itself. I'm sure there's some sort of there's some sort of metaphor for the crocodile itself, which probably has gone over my head. It was quite sad. But it was really good. I liked it. I flipped over the page and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Because the first couple of pages, you see this girl prostitute herself out. And also the art was very off-putting at first, but once you start to read some of the pages and you get further into the chapters, you come to realize that it's not about the art at all. This is actually a vertical comic, and this, so beautiful. It's almost like soft sandpaper. It's beautiful. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I watched this and I think I would easily recommend this to absolutely anyone. And the fact that it's single volume as well, it was a nice read. And also, I think every chapter is around 6-7 pages. So even if you don't want to binge read the whole thing, you can just easily pick up a couple of chapters within 10-20 minutes easily. And the chapters are relatively self-contained as well. So although it is an overarching story, you don't have to keep track of what everybody's doing at all times. You can always just leave for a couple of days if need be. And then the last volume that I read last week was volume 2 of Donuts Under the Crescent Moon. This was the third winner of the recommendation video that I made, stream, should I say. I have volume 1 on back order. I was able to find somewhere to read volume 1 online. This was actually really wholesome. Nice little Yuri. It's about two co-workers and they kind of slowly start to fall in love with each other. They are older. I think they're 24 and 28. And I've read a couple of like BL and Girls Love manga recently. And a lot of the times they're young kids learning about their sexuality and what they like and what they don't like. This one is kind of similar, but because they're working adults, they have actually more of a friendship relationship before anything else. It's really wholesome. There's no smuttiness in it. Unlike Pink, literally the third page, fifth panel, she's going down on some guy. I was not expecting that at all. Yeah, it was very funny at points. And I think that's the beauty of reading manga sometimes blind, is that you have no expectations of anything and you read it and then it just surprises you. So this is what I purchased, these 5, and then I read 17 volumes. 18, I guess, if you include volume 1 of Donuts Under the Crescent Moon, but I don't technically have that one. So I will not include it. Bling, bling, bling. All right, so now what I need to do is where are you? There we go. Bling, bling, bling. Right. Now it is time to update my manga spreadsheet. The most tedious part of my Monday streams. Google Drive. Bloop. So my current read percentage is 46.79% of my manga read out of 639 volumes. So the first thing I need to do is type down how many volumes I read, with 17, and update May. So I've read up to volume 15, Dragon Ball Super, and Promised Neverland I'm currently at 15. Then I also read Pink, volume 1, and then I'll put Nuts shorthand. I put volume 2. That was it. So now I need to update this part. Right, where's PPP for Promised Neverland? So I've read 15 and then Dragon Ball Super. Where are you? There we go. 15 also. I can put myself up to date on that. I don't think volume 16 is available until September, I think. Amazon. Let's go Amazon. Dragon Ball Super 16. September. Long time away. Though, if you want it in French, you can get it right now. It's crazy how some languages get it way before us. And then, where is Pink? Pink, 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 pink. Red. Finished. And then Donuts Under the Crescent Moon. I've read, I'll just put 1 for now because volume 1 is still on back order. I'll just put up to date. Then when it comes in, I'll just add it up. All right, so that was, how many volumes was that? 17. 17. All right, now I need to update. Where's Frerin? Beyond Journey's End. So I have volume 3, volume 3. I've not started that yet, but next week I will. My Dress Up Darling. 5. And witch hat W. W, W. 3. So I need 4 plus. And then Golden Kamui. I think I've actually incorrectly included all the volumes of Golden Kamui. I haven't updated this. This is bad. Because I'm going to put 25. I'll put 26. I'm going to put 25. And it's going to mess up my figure completely now. Because that's an additional 8. And then Solomon. So I need to add you in. S, 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 S. S, O. S-O-L-A-M-I-N. There's 1, 1. I haven't read it yet. End and not started. That puts me on 85 series. 85. And what does that put me on percentage-wise? What? 48. I'm so close to 50. So next week I should be able to hit 50%. And I think by September I should be at 60+%, which is when I'm going to start reading One Piece. And then that will be it. All downhill after then. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Well, that is it from me. I've enjoyed today's stream. I've shown off everything that I've purchased, everything that I've read, and replied to a bunch of comments. So I think it is time to leave. I would love to stream more often, but I literally have nothing to stream. I don't particularly play any video games at the moment because all I'm doing is reading a bunch of manga. Although in saying that, I've been looking at the most recent, or the new One Piece game. That looks really interesting. Maybe I'll play that when it comes out. Ba, 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 ba. All right. Like you said, lots of fun. Until next time. And as always, I do have a video that's just gone live. It is only a clip from the live stream from 2 weeks ago of when I purchased a bunch of manga. Please, if you have a moment, just open it up, give it a like, and at least let it run for like a minute. It's literally less than a 4-minute video. Just 1 minute. That's all you have to do. And if you can, give me one recommendation, because if the video does well, I think I'll do this again because that was fun. Taking a bunch of comments, recommendations, and then randomly picking one. That was fun. So if you have any manga recommendations, please put them in the comments of that video. And I would suggest giving me something that's maybe 1 volume. Single volumes would be nice. They're so much easier to maintain, to read, to purchase, to locate. But yeah, if it's a long series, make sure it's no longer than like 10, 20 volumes. But I'm open to any and everything. But today's stream has been fun. I've enjoyed it. Now that's a challenge. Don't put Black Clover though. And I've read all of Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your days, guys. It's nearly It's nearly 8:30 here, so I'm actually going to go maybe watch an anime. I'm not too sure what I'm going to watch. Well, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Enjoy the rest of your day. Born hope work goes quick. And Josh, I will see you around.